February 8th, 2024. I reached over to a corner of my wife's bed, and she was telling me I was having a stroke. I was non-verbal. Jamie was asking questions. Following directions was fine, but no verbal speech. So I was
There you go.
So I was rushed by my wife to Lakewood Hospital and was immediately transported to UofU. I could hear the ER doctor say some words, but I didn't know what was going on. I mean, I'm aphasic. Next. When I finally woke up, Jamie was by my bedside, holding my hands. I tried to speak, holler, make noise, but nothing came out. I was just thankful to be alive. Day I realized something major had happened. Now, the day I realized something major was my stroke took my speech and my right arm and my right leg. So, if you can imagine, that remained involuntary for about 3 weeks. I remember as Julie, my sister, who was an RN, so she got on a plane and rushed to the hospital, and Kyle, my brother-in-law, came in. My eyes were glued on the NFC AFC championship. This is 3 days after I woke up. Yeah, if you're a Chiefs fan, congrats, you guys won.
He remembers that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I was out. Swallowing difficulty. They did a swallowing test to make sure I wouldn't aspirate. For 3 days, 3 days, I was on a special diet. I was one step at a time, and reminded me of a green and red Jello. So, which they served me every day. Every day. They kept me on a soft diet for like 1 week. It was a little more.
My time's really distorted from all of that. It's probably about a week,
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. What is this aphasia thing anyway? Well, next I remember them blurting out questions. Is a lion bigger than a cat? Is a rabbit bigger than a horse? My yes and no responses were all jacked up. All jacked up. They answer. I kept answering Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
She knows.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were all in there for a
Yep.
hot minute. Yep.
That's when my wife got really concerned. She kept asking, is he gonna be all right? Someone on the medical staff responded, you had about 3 months to get your speech better, which is baloney. Which is, she'll tell you.
It is. It was really scary when they said, yeah, you know, if he doesn't talk again in 3 months, that's pretty much all you got, and his ability to get much better after that will be like slim to none. So I got very paranoid. I Googled a lot. I YouTubed and took speech therapy into my own hands. Mind you, we were still in the hospital at that point, so it was really hard to get a speech therapist to come around to the room. You're having all of these questions. I didn't know what was going on, so we just started practicing sounds and things like that on our own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was terrifying for her to hear that. Luckily, we eventually learned about neuroplasticity and ongoing aphasia recovery. Next.
Got it. I'm on it.
When they finally released me, I was greeted by my father, and he took me home to Delaware in an RV. Now, if you don't know what these things, capacity,
Like how big it is?
how big it is. Sorry, aphasia.
You actually were right. Capacity
You were
was
right. That was way better than what I said. Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right. This thing had a private bathroom and two couches and a fold-up table and a couch for me, which I slept, and a full blown out bed. No kidding. And a seat for my sister, Jamie. My dad just sped home. He made it there in 3 days.
Yeah, I think it took us 3 days to
Yeah.
get you from Utah to where his parents live in Delaware,
Yeah.
because we needed some additional support.
Yep. I slept most of the way, besides every 3 hours, Jamie was trying to get me to say some stupid word like dig. Dig.
We had 3 months to get your speech back. I wasn't wasting any time.
Yeah. So, anyway. When we got home to Delaware, we decided to go with Kate, which became my speech therapist. Stroke cause. Now, this is a pretty funky idea. Yeah.
It's a very unique reason to why he was having strokes.
Yeah.
There wasn't just one.
Yeah. I had a TIA in 2021, punctate foci. I had the right hand weakness, and they sent me home from ED, knowing it was my fatigue.
They said it was fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't really find out until all of this happened in February of 2024. And I was looking back over any medical records trying to basically solve this medical mystery that these old MRIs came up and came to light that there had been something ongoing from 2021, which they attributed to like fatigue and stress and just sent us on our way.
That's
Bananas.
Yeah.
bananas. Yeah.
I looked up how to sue a hospital a couple times. I didn't do it, but yeah.
Yeah. On a small stroke in October of 2023, this did not impact speech and is on the right side of my frontal lobe. So, how do you put this?
Not that part.
Um,
We can leave that part out, but you can tell them your symptoms.
My right hand, my right arm, and my right leg went numb. And I said, put me in the bath. She put me in the bath, and no. This is 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, take me out of the bath. And I started getting arm and leg. It took me about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't go to the hospital for that one?
No.
Like
Okay.
the next day, it was
Right.
I don't know. It's like the idea of stroke, I think even for me was such a foreign concept, especially in somebody, I mean, he works out, he eats perfect. I mean, he has no other, medical conditions. I'm not sure. There was all of these other things that kind of went on, and that resolved. It kind of turned into like some like lingering things and a little bit of like light shuffling. This was after we got the MRI.
Yeah.
But even so, they said it was a 1x1 in the right frontal lobe, but nobody made a big deal out of it. And nobody said, hey, here should be your next step, or you should. It was so nonchalant looking back, which was really weird.
So what did I do? I went and lifted legs.
Yeah, that was.
You went snowboarding. Well, it wasn't snowing yet, but.
Yeah.
I remember that. You did go to the gym, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's a bad idea. And you're like, I'm going anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your determination.
And then next day, we got a TIA,
MRI?
MRI,
Ah.
CT,
CT. Major stroke on February 8th, 2024. Now, this one was the big one. I had a 7x4 inch bleed. I couldn't talk. I couldn't. How long did it take me to move from that hospital into another hospital?
You mean from Lakewood to University of Utah?
No.
Or you mean from the wing where you were at in university?
Yeah.
You were in, he was in, I don't know what wing you call it, but it's the lockdown one.
The
where there's-
ICU.
Yeah, it was like
ICU.
only like 15 beds, or however many beds are back there or whatnot. You were in there for just over a week, and then you
Yeah.
were transferred to like the neuro floor for
Yeah.
the next
So
2
you're
weeks.
going there.
Yeah.
I was working with Jan.
Yeah. I was there for 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, just shy of a month.
Yeah, just shy of a month. Yeah. So, since February of 2024, I've had 6 more strokes. And get that in your brain. Yeah. I have one diagnosis that says I have RS.
Oh, RC.
CVS, which is baloney. Which I get headaches all the time. And then
This is for them, not you. You keep talking. The CAA?
No,
Oh.
So you said you had.
no. I remember. I went to Penn, I went to Jefferson, I went to Johns Hopkins, I went to,
Starts with an M. Mayo.
no,
No, not that one.
yeah,
Johns Hopkins, Jefferson, Penn, UofU, Christiana, Mayo, Johns Hopkins. I don't remember.
It's in Chicago.
Oh, Northwestern.
Northwestern. Yeah.
Oh, and then Boston, Mass.
Yeah.
And then
Sorry.
Boston,
Forgot about
Mass. Where I saw the top dog. The top dog. And he couldn't explain what was wrong. Yeah. And that's is how do I call this? We got medical bills out the yin yang.
We do have those, yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that is accurate. That is definitely accurate.
Yeah. So no more doctors.
No, well.
No more doctors. Yeah. So I've been to doctors all over the country and nobody can find a cause. So I'm done. I'm done.
Except for speech therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Eye caps.
Do you want to do that first, or you want to?
Yeah. I'll stick with this one. With this one.
Okay, because then it's yeah.
July 17th, 2024, we went back to Utah. I wanted to be in a good research study about air awareness and AOS, but it was too good for the study. I'm very aware when I make misspeech errors. So, they kept giving me a word and I screw up and I repeat it. And you all saw what happened. Dan Sullivan.
Solomon.
Yeah. Took me in and he said, you're too good for my study.
So Dan Solomon, he actually taught motor speech disorders last year. He's a PhD student here. I'm actually on his committee, which is funny, they ran into him independently. And so he did an error awareness study of if someone with apraxia said a word incorrectly, did they know it was incorrect? If it was correct, they know it was correct. So it was the participants judging their accuracy of their productions, they didn't necessarily have to say the word correctly, but it was their awareness of it. And Gabe is very acutely aware of his errors, so he did not qualify for the study because he was too good.
Yep. I also went to another study.
And they know that person.
Who is it?
Who taught UofAsia?
Jamie Lee.
That's right. I forgot her
Yeah.
name.
Maybe there was another one I didn't know about, but yeah, they know Dr. Lee.
And I didn't qualify for
No,
her
you're too good.
study.
I showed him, a text thread between him and his buddy, because they were like, do you have one between you guys? I'm like, no, we're together 24/7, so we don't really text each other anymore, but it's him and his buddy, and they could totally understand what each other was saying, and it was a fluent conversation.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
So I didn't qualify for this. Oh well.
Stuck with me.
Yeah.
We love you.
At that time, it figures I would have a seizure that kept on happening for about 2 to 3 months. I went through many medications: Keppra, glucosamide, zonisamide, oxycarbazepine, and the last one is clobazam. You know why I can't stay on this medication for too long? Any questions?
They won't know that.
Yeah. Because it's a benzo. And what happens with benzos,
Your
tolerance, right, will rise up. And Dr. Richards wants me to get off all medications and study, be in a lab for 11 days and see if I have a seizure. So that's
Extra piece to the puzzle.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So seizures affected my speech therapy progress October of 2024 to January of 2025, and there were multiple seizures.
We had a lot going on. There was some seizure activity, some stroke activity, I would say for Gabe, and then obviously the transition between all of those different medications just takes a toll on your mental health, in addition to trying navigating this whole entire new situation going on. And Gabe was unique in that we didn't have a diagnosis, right? And so it was, I would consider that time frame to be the most challenging time, even maybe more so than the beginning. It was a really, really challenging time, I think, for everybody. But
I was not sleeping on club.
We had some like mania extended. It was really challenging.
Yep.
I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
I think I blocked it out. Yeah, but but I think that's the big thing, is that you stayed in therapy, babe, and you overcome. You kept showing up no matter what.
Yep.
It was huge.
I don't think he ever canceled because he wasn't feeling up for it or it wasn't okay. I mean, he'd come in and sit in the chair and shake.
I forgot about that.
And we just kind of worked through it. But like he was still there and still working, and
Wow.
yeah.
That's all coming back to me now. Yeah,
I know.
you did. Yeah.
And then, which also kind of came into play with some of these different programs.
Yeah.
Actually.
So, Kate taught me how to enunciate better with my flow coming out word and fluently. Took my time with me, proclaimed. We worked on synonym, antonym words, trisyllable, multisyllabic, and heteronym. Whatever that word is.
Was she at the ICAP or was she?
No.
She was in Delaware, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So ICAP. So
Yes.
yeah, you're gonna go over this one.
You want me to tell them what an ICAP is?
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know, I think they're called ICAPs or IPATs. It's an intensive aphasia program. I don't remember where we learned about, probably from Google. I did a lot of research and we found these programs. I don't remember.
You did a lot
Yeah.
of research.
I did do a lot of research. And I can't remember how many programs exactly, but there's like one in Australia, one in the UK, one in Canada, maybe 2 in Canada, and a handful, maybe 10 to 12, maybe about 10 here in the States, all over the country. And Gabe's first IPAT or CAP, they call them different things, was 2 weeks, but some of them go as long as 6 weeks, potentially longer. The longest one we've been to is 6 weeks, the shortest is 2, and it's immersive. It's like Gabe's in a classroom for a minimum of 4 hours a day, so you have to meet different requirements, sometimes being post-stroke, a certain amount of time, being able to have enough energy to get through the programs, because they drill you. They look at Gabe's individual and personal goals, and we personally like predominantly one-on-one therapy, but they'll mesh it up between, sometimes it's group therapy, one-on-one, and some programs lean more heavily on one modality than the other. But we also see obviously largest jump of progress there. Before Gabe would go, 3 1-hour sessions a week, but as if you can imagine, we're just in speech world all day long. And he comes out a brand new person every single time. So, you wanna take it away? How many have you been to? Four.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's very unique it's the intensive comprehensive aphasia programs. Very unique that people are that motivated to travel across the country to commit to 4 weeks of intensive therapy. And to be able to have the family support that they can, leave jobs and support that person. So I was kind of blown away by these two, that they kept going and doing all these different ones, because I had worked with clients that maybe had been to one, maybe 2. They're also, you have to pay, they're expensive, right? So
there's one in Shirley, Ryan, that costs $3,000.
So we've been very fortunate. We've raised some money, but as you can imagine, going through a stroke situation, especially, and I don't want to say an older population is less important.
My dad's got connections out the wazoo.
His parents have given up a lot to help us be able to get Gabe to these programs. And then, like you said, it takes a lot of dedication to show up.
Right.
But they are beautiful. I think we were talking the other day, it's been really cool to also meet other people with aphasia, because my definition of aphasia is right in front of me. And so to be able to meet so many different people with different types of aphasia and learn has been really cool going to those programs.
What was that one guy who you met at Shirley, Ryan, and he had Wernicke's disease?
Yeah, Wernicke's aphasia, meeting different people that, what do you call it? Is it automatic or fluent? Fluent aphasia. But I was thinking, he was over there, and I was like, why is this guy even here? He doesn't have I was judging, and I shouldn't have been. I was in a really weird space. And then I met him and I recognized that none of the words actually made any sense.
Yeah.
So I learn all the time, even now. I mean, I learn from you all the time. I learn every single time we go to a program about aphasia. And so I think as Gabe progresses through aphasia, I also progress and understand how I can be a better caregiver and support partner, because he comes out different, and so the things that I use to support him change all the time too. So it's cool. Those programs are great. I learn a lot every time. I'm gonna sit down. Go ahead.
Amy, so the next 1, 2, 3, 4 are all from ICAP. Got me out of my spot, in other words, she was just curious on what I was all about. She worked on reading, writing, and putting my ums.
We went through an phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Incomplete sentences. Yeah. Next. And she was my favorite teacher, all of them. All of them. She taught me how to redo my vowels, how to exercise my thoughts patterns using V-nest. She practiced verb tonality with me, and she worked on training me on my nouns and fumbled up words. So, do you not take that away?
Do I want to elaborate on it? On your fumbled up words?
Yeah.
There was the big thing here was a lot, using a lot of generalizations, she, thing, or I don't know that you ever really used words inappropriately or out of context. You might be able to even speak to this better than I can, but a lot of it was like the connecting words. One of Gabe's favorite phrases used to just be "shut that door," and that was it. It was just really short, concrete,
Yep.
direct to the point. You can get it, but you couldn't get a lot of context out of it, and certainly not elaborating like I hear a lot now. It was just, she, shirt, wash, or just really high and tight there.
Fumbled up words.
Am I missing something?
Oh, you did a lot of non-word repetitions
Yeah.
in that program.
Yeah.
Where they would generate very complex non-words
Yep.
and have him repeat those. So quiz time, what were they looking at? Not memory.
Yeah.
We're gonna hire Jamie basically. She's
Yeah.
getting an honorary master's degree with us.
Yeah.
So phonological processing, where you're taking away the meanings. Grace, you're like, did I get it?
Yeah.
Okay, good job. So phonological processing and the apraxia.
Apraxia.
Okay, perfect.
Jo Ellen, she was my second favorite. She has kept in touch with us, answered emails, phone calls, and she even FaceTimed after the program. She worked on V-Nest and ARC with me. She even had me make up a presentation on MHP, Mobile Home Park Investing.
Cause that's their profession.
Yeah.
They're in real estate and mobile home park investing.
Mhm.
He put that acronym in there and I said, Gabe, I don't know what. You have to tell me.
Yep.
So that's
Yep.
their work.
Yep. Yep. She goes and wholesales houses, fixes and flips houses, and we keep them for rentals. Now we're all into mobile home park investing, while she needs to get an acquisition manager ASAP.
On it.
ASAP. She even worked on podcasts and reading book with me, and showed me some pictures.
Mhm.
Miranda. Now, this is a funny story. Catherine, Amy, Anne, and Joellen kept my apraxia down and raised my aphasia up. Now, she kind of like raised my aphasia down and put my apraxia up. And you do know why she did that? Why she did that?
So,
Yeah.
when you think about the speed accuracy
Yeah.
trade-off with apraxia,
Yep.
typically we try and slow people down to get those sounds very precise and accurate.
Mm-hmm.
This was at an ICAP in Montana,
Yeah.
where it was a really interesting technique where they had people speed up, not revise their errors, and
She was a clinician.
so it was a run with a student. I guess they have students run their sessions.
Yep.
And so it was interesting because I kept seeing Gabe about once a week while he was at this program. And so we talked a lot about it's a different approach, it's a less common approach to apraxia and aphasia treatment. Well, it's different.
Yeah.
And for people who, again, Gabe is very aware of his errors and he wants to fix them. You've seen him go back and revise his words.
Yeah.
So to increase his speed and increase the naturalness of the speech flow of sentences, to him was frustrating.
Right.
To some other folks, that's who don't, making an error isn't as big of a deal, that can work for them. To increase that naturalness of conversation. So, so there's a lot of factors that kind of go into the different approaches.
Yeah.
But I have, what's it called?
You have what is it? Is it a thing? Is it a?
It's a thing.
You have a thing. Tell me more about it. What does it do?
If
Is it a technique that you learned there?
no.
Okay.
No.
I'm shooting in the
No.
dark. Okay. What is it?
I got perfectionism.
Oh, yeah.
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 She's great, but she developed a system that was way too hard for me. Way too hard. I kept talking to my wife saying, why is my apraxia getting worse? And she was like, oh no.
She didn't go to that. She was hearing you talk word. He said the same thing.
We're never bored at our house. I just want
Yeah.
y'all to know that.
Yeah. She graded me at an 8 when I should have been graded at a 4. 8 is fast rate, while 4 is slow rate of speed. And
Pushing to go faster.
yep.
Faster, faster.
Yep. Once I powered through that rough time, it took me like 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks. Out of the 4 weeks
Yeah.
I was there. To get on the same page as she was. And thank God I studied that woman who was like, thank you for not speeding.
Yeah. This was the only ICAP I hadn't been present for, and not that I'm, somebody special, but I'm the one that has been most involved in the speech therapy with Gabe, and I had to make some phone calls because I wasn't sure what was going on. He's obviously getting really frustrated, and so it goes to show, I guess, how important that communication is. Thankfully, her, I guess, clinical supervisor, I don't know the correct term for that, were absolutely wonderful. They spoke with me after hours, and I'm going, so not only that, but due to this program being, and mind you, this was only in June.
But this was just recent.
Yeah.
So from the Gabe I know, to see him so frustrated, discouraged, going like, I can't do this. This was really out of character. I'm thinking something is not right. They were really wonderful, talked me through it, and it took a little bit to figure out exactly what was going on. So we had to have a lot of really just raw, honest, in-depth conversation. I think we all learned a lot through that process. I think Miranda learned a lot through that process. And then ultimately what ended up coming out of it was actually, in my opinion, I saw again, Gabe make this huge leap, was a really beautiful combination of increased like flow and speed and still without apraxia awareness, but it was really challenging. I was emailing Catherine going, what's happening?
Yeah.
And you were great, but yeah, it was tough.
I'm still reading off a slide.
Not really.
You've improvised.
Oh, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. All right.
This is where we got married.
Oh, we're doing this?
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
They're big snowboarders. Like
Yeah.
expert
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm headed off to Craig Hospital for a Denver ICAP. In September. I know Jamie should be excited for that one. And then I'll be headed off to Ann Arbor, Michigan in January. So the game don't stop.
That's true.
Yeah. What I'm doing now, speech therapy ×1 a week with Catherine, ×2 a week of UofU student clinicians.
He's coming in August.
Yeah. I kept to Denver for 3 weeks, working on mobile home park investing. Thanks to you, I finally got my speech back. Thanks to her, I finally listen up. I finally.
You're making work phone calls now.
Yeah.
You're just going for it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's. I give you permission.
I've not been able to speak. Once I learned how to speak clearly, I don't give a shit about what anybody thinks, and I'm not even saying I have a face. Screw that shit.
We talked about disclosing. Just go for it.
Yeah. Daily practice, 2 to 3 hours a day minimum. I mean, when say yesterday, I got on a call with John. Rewind. I woke up, I took a shower. I woke down and meditated for like 20 minutes. I got my coffee and I read like 4 pages out of my book. And then I got a speech session with Jamie for like 10-15 minutes.
That was a short one.
Yeah. And then I went and hopped on the phone, FaceTime, Zoom, with our team.
Mm-hmm.
And the more and more and more I get used to that, the more I can bring Mark on to. Mark is a VA from the Philippines, and they've got to speak perfect English. Perfect English. So now Mark's starting August 1st. Me and Mark and Mary will do the Louisiana and Arkansas mobile home parks. And yeah. And then I did another hour of studying and met up with her for an hour and went with Jamie for another half an hour and made phone calls out the wazoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was about like an hour and a half with me.
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
You were working.
And that's like, that's Gabe takes the initiative to do something every day. And I think the only time really he'll take a day off every once in a while, he's gotten better actually over time, saying, you know what, I'm going to take a rest day. But especially in the beginning, it was no rest days. And I or somebody would have to
7 days a week.
I would have to be like, let's just take a pause today. And sometimes he
Yeah.
would take a break if it wasn't hitting, and then come back later in the afternoon
Yeah.
and try again. He's been
7 days a week for a year.
yeah, at least
Yeah.
more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I think he's one of the, I think the only one I've had to say, stop
Yeah.
practicing.
Yeah.
Stop,
Do less.
just do less, and like, go on a walk, go to the gym, take a break,
Mm-hmm.
and then come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we have about 10 minutes
Yeah.
left. Do you mind if we see if they have any questions, and then we
No.
can kind of come back to some of these?
No.
Does that, okay.
So, do any of you have any questions?
Do you ever experience like fatigue practicing so much?
All the time. All the time.
And what do you do to help that?
Rest.
Can I add on to that? We've also learned Gabe's fatigue patterns and when that happens, and so if we need to do more challenging therapy, we know like mornings are best.
Yeah.
Like let's maybe not
Yeah.
schedule and do some stuff at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, but we've had to learn that.
I could be like totally off base about this, but
You are.
I feel like in the beginning video of you before your stroke, like I feel like I noticed a little bit of an accent, and like now I don't notice it as much. So I was just wondering, like with you relearning all your vowels and stuff, like is that something that you kind of lost?
No, because I still say water.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah? I still say it.
I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about, because I had the same question, especially in the
Yeah.
beginning when we were relearning the sounds and things like that, like sound production. I just, because he's from the East Coast,
Yeah.
and that's why, and so I just basically let his therapist know, like, the wooder thing is normal, and I notice now if he puts more emphasis on certain vowels, they do come out more, like, textbook,
Yeah.
but I think it's really cool, the natural sound creeps its way back in.
Mhm.
So I just kind of like let his therapist know, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, they come back normal. Yeah,
Water.
Well, and the first time I met them, I think we just met over Zoom, and that was one of my first questions is, where are you from?
Yeah.
Because I could hear it, because I'm from the East Coast, I could hear it, and I'm like, it's gotta be Philly or Boston, like, there's something in there. And so it's helpful for me that I know those patterns, but even you said something the other day, and I'm like, I don't know whether to correct you or not, because it sounds like your accent, or is that the apraxia? And you were like, no, I'm fine. It's
Yeah.
my accent.
Yeah.
Where is your favorite place to snowboard?
That's gotta be Utah.
Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to Switzerland, I've been to France, I've been to all places in Colorado, I've been to Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine.
Is there a favorite place here that you guys
Snow
went to?
Snow Basin.
it's also the shortest drive.
Yeah.
And now the bus parking too, but it is good.
I feel like you guys have a good dynamic, like supporting each other. How do you feel like Jamie shows up the best for you? Like, what do you appreciate most in her, like, as a partner, helping you to individual?
How she
That's a big question.
I don't know whether I should get up or not.
I'm sorry. Just a twinge. She studies about what stroke is, and she should. I'm not playing, dude. If you want to go to these, I'll support you with anything. And how she meets all these different these with praxia and aphasia, and goes to sit down with them, greet them, even their loved ones. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. How has aphasia affected you socially?
Not really. Not really. I still got my arms and my legs, and I can still work out, not too hard. So they say,
Are you looking at your time?
no.
Oh.
You going ADD rogue on us?
No. Can you bring up CAA in medical terms?
Okay. I'm
Do
not
it
sure.
now.
I'm not sure what you mean. What do you mean?
CAA in medical terms.
What it stands for?
Yes.
They would not have heard that term.
No.
Yeah. Cerebral amyloid angiopathy. And it's from when I was a baby, that the doctors pulled me out with forceps and crushed my skull, and I had 4 hemorrhagic bleeds. So that's 10.
Yeah. Do you think since your stroke in February and having aphasia, do you feel like your social life, like your relationships with your buddies, have been affected at all?
No.
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 He's got some pretty awesome friends. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say that.
Yeah.
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 He can't snowboard with the seizures, but we'll get back to it. Maybe.
That's what you think.
We're going.
Oh no, I understand.
Oh yeah.
We're watching that timetable.
Mm-hmm.
I know some of you have some finance, but we're gonna keep rolling here. Any other questions? And then I'm gonna ask Gabe some questions. We're good?
I have a general question, like, with your speech pathologist that you worked with, like, what was something that they did that helped support you guys the most? Like, what's something that we can implement?
That's actually
Well,
one of the,
Yeah. She's awesome. She's by far the favorite therapist that I have had to date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add into that. The biggest thing is I have run across therapists that I feel like didn't really give their full attention to Gabe, and I would see it. It would almost be like they kind of knew what they were
Three of
gonna.
them.
Yeah, they kind of knew what they were gonna do, but they would come in and sort of like, I don't know if they're like typing notes or what they're doing, but imagine you have aphasia, and Gabe is such a social person, and thankfully we have a great, he has great friends, but there's been a lot, and then all of a sudden you're sort of invisible in the world, and I felt like that too, and so to walk into a therapist's office and almost feel like, not that you're a bother, but it's just like, let's get him in and get him out, was really, it rubbed me the wrong way. It was really challenging. So I would just say, if it's only for an hour, just be present and be intentional. That person, I mean, I feel like that's such common knowledge, but you would be surprised. We've seen a lot of therapists, and the amount of people that actually do that is quite crazy. And at the end, like, I know, it's an hour session, people pay, you have other clients, but either like a lot in that time where it's almost like a soft get you out the door, versus sometimes it just feels like hard, like, hey, okay, bye, and then we'll never talk to you again. I think one of the best experiences we had was Joe Ellen, who in that ICAP, and I get that that's a different setting, was just there for external support, even for me, because I'm learning so much. I have no idea what aphasia is. I have no idea if it's normal. And I know, because I can talk to you about this, sometimes I'll have weird questions in my head going, has there been some other situation that's happened with a stroke? And it's because it's actually a speech thing, but I'm worried if there's something